So you want to scale your business quickly? Do this. Good morning, guys. It's Michael from the One-on-One Connection, Australia's premier radio station for business and lifestyle shows mixed with some great music. Yeah, because I choose it. I just got to show you this hard before we start. Look at this. This is my usual haunt, and this is something I always say to people: find yourself a nice little spot where you can just come to, or get out of that office, get out of your art studio if you're an artist, and just start. Just give yourself some breathing room. But anyway, here we go. So you've got a business, you want to scale it, you want to grow rapidly, you're wondering what to do, and this is what I would say. No matter what industry you're in, it's really simple these days to find out what the top 5 are doing in your industry. So what you want to do is jump on YouTube. That's probably one of the better ones, I would say, because you get to watch them, you get to see their personality, you get to know whether you like that type of person or not. Have a look at the huge channels there, have a look at the most successful people, see who they're talking about, because a lot of the channels actually talk about some of the other successful people who may not have a channel, and then you can do your investigation. But the investigation now leads you to find the top 5 in your profession, the top 5, and let's have a look at what they're doing. You know, how are they presenting themselves? I can tell you now, in this day and age, your top 5 are all going to be about, not just about their products and services, but they're going to be about them as well. People buy people. It's probably one of the oldest statements out there, and you're going to find the trait of one of the top 5 is they're in front of the camera, they're out there talking just as much about themselves than their products and services. And the other thing you're going to find, and it doesn't matter what industry you're in, they're all going to talk about the process. Now, this is a fascinating thing that's come about recently. I suppose social media, because we're all our own little media companies these days, you know. We don't need to rely on the big boys. We don't have to pay a fortune. We can just grab something as simple as a GoPro, buy a second-hand one if you haven't got any money, borrow one from a friend. You know, really simple computer. You know, DaVinci Resolve, you know, Final Cut Pro. They're not really that expensive programs, you know. I've used CapCut. It's got a couple of things there that I'm not too keen on in the terms and conditions, that they can just grab your content and use it for anything that they like, which can become an issue, I think, later on, maybe. Just a personal thing. It doesn't bother you. Use CapCut, it's free. But yeah, you will find that in the top 5 of your industry, some of the tactics they're using is to talk about them, so people get to know, like, and trust them. You know, you have to think of Steve Jobs, you know, the Virgin guy, Branson, you know, all of them. They're all in front of the camera. But one thing they're all doing now is showing the process. Not just showing the end result, not just showing, here's my product, here's my service, and this is what it'll do for you. They're just showing how they make it. You know, there's people on there with glues, there's people on there, especially in the art industry. You know, I always say to artists, you know, if you really want to capitalize, start showing people your process, how you actually create the art. Because in the art industry, it's been well known, if you want to become famous, it's not just about your piece of artwork. It's as much about you. It's about your story and about your philosophies, about your ideals, you know, and what you're actually doing here. So this is what you're going to have to do, is find these top 5 and then see how they're doing it, because each of these industries has a, I was going to walk down there, but the guys are just starting to clean up. It is 7 o'clock in the morning, so they've got all their blowers out and that. We'll walk this way, it's a bit quieter. Yeah, they're all going to have their own style. They're all going to have their own style. They're all going to have their own, that's, how can I say, it's acceptable in their industry. So if you're a photographer, I'd be having a look at what some of the top photographers are doing. You know, what are they teaching? Because teaching is another big thing, you know. People who teach tend to earn more than people that do. And not just from the teaching, but their actual businesses grow. If you can teach people how you do it, what you're doing, people get frightened. Oh, they'll copy me, they'll do it. They won't. People haven't got time for that. They won't. And if they're not passionate about it, they're not going to keep it up anyway. So it has to be about you. So my advice, if you really want to scale your business fast, go grab the top 5, see what they're doing. You're going to find they're going to be talking about themselves as much as their business. You're going to find that they're going to be talking about the process and how they actually do it, and they're not frightened of sharing that with you at all. Other things, they're going to be giving you factory tours, they're giving you tours of the home, they're going to be showing you around their favourite little spots. You're probably going to go on their motorbikes with them. You're going to find a heap of stuff going on, as much as the personality as the business. Find out what the top 5 are doing. Look at their language as well. Check out their websites. Find out what language they're using. Look at how they're doing their photographic work. You know, if you are selling on Amazon, you'll quickly find that the guys on Amazon are not using photographs. You know, they're using renders. They're getting the guys the 3D rendering to make sure their products look good. These are little idiosyncrasies that you can pick up that have an immediate impact really, really quickly. So, look at what those top 5 are doing, analyze how they're doing it, make a list, and then start modeling them. That's it. You start modeling them. Rising tide floats all boats, as they say. You start modeling them and you'll grow too. So with top 5, that's the big tip for today. As we like to say, and if you want help breaking through in your business, why don't you just give me a call. Jump on the 101connection.com.au. You'll see mentorship. Book in 45 minutes, absolutely free. We'll have a chat, see if we can get a breakthrough for you in your business. And as we like to say at the 101 Connection, it's all about your success.